My favorite Code Up memory was the day when Ryan said we could change our LinkedIn subheadings from student data scientist to data scientist. We had all just completed our natural language processing project, and as an entire cohort, we had kicked it out of the park. We had all finished great professional looking presentations within the time limit, and were able to transition smoothly from one presentation to the next with no hiccups. Everyone really knocked it out of the park on those presentations, and the expressions of pride on the professors' faces when we came back to the main room was amazing to see. All of their feedback was very timely and important, but that moment of knowing that I could call myself a data scientist really stuck with me.
My favorite Code Up memory has to be Ryan. Perpetually optimistic, helpful, and always willing to go the extra mile. Thank you for everything that you did.
My favorite memory at Code Up is definitely hard to choose because it was a blast the whole way through, but I'll always cherish the lifelong friends that I've made along the way, and I'll also cherish all of the moments that people forgot that their mic wasn't on mute on Zoom, and I think y'all know what I'm talking about. And my other favorite memory is when Maggie told us that when the P is low, you reject, and y'all can finish that one.
I don't think I had like a particular moment that was like my favorite moment, but probably a series of moments. Just anytime we had to come up with names for any of our teams, we always just would have like a pun war and make that our names. Whoever had the punniest name, like no really punny names, that would actually be what would be the winner, I guess. We never really determined who was the best at it, but that was always hilarious to do.
My favorite memory is at the beginning of the program when we were first getting used to Zoom. We would have a lot of fun with the Zoom backgrounds, and we would just try and do something crazy and just see how long it would take for someone to notice or if they even would. And that was definitely a lot of fun.
So I have several favorite memories, and they virtually all revolve around Maggie, the senior data scientist and head instructor here in the program. And it all has to do with the hilarious use of physical comedy on our Zoom calls, whether she's kind of doing something like this on screen, or she's waving her arms around and moving back and forth. Maggie has always made key moments of our program very entertaining, and I'll never forget them.
My favorite memory in Code Up would have to be having the opportunity to collaborate with various individuals in my cohort to produce different projects, especially my capstone project. It was fun working with 3 other very talented and unique individuals.
My favorite Code Up memory is working on the capstone project with my team. Danny, Young Yang, Samuel, y'all are brilliant, and I've learned so much from you. I'm proud of the work we've produced.
My favorite memory at Code Up was working with my capstone team and working through our project together.
My favorite memory at Code Up was when we had the opportunity to go to the Pro District and get our professional headshots taken. Beforehand, the only time we really saw each other was in sweatpants or 1 inch tall on a screen. So it was the first opportunity to actually interact with the other members of our cohort and just see how tall they really were in person.
My favorite memory at Code Up was actually getting to meet a couple of my classmates in person when I went to get a photo, the headshot. Because of COVID, we haven't been in class, and being able to meet someone face to face was actually a lovely.
My favorite memory would probably be when Maggie's and Zach's dog would interrupt class. This happened on multiple occasions. It was pretty funny. Maggie would freak out and usually get her daughter to come in to calm the dog down, and also, Zach's dog would go crazy, and Zach would continue lecture like nothing's going on, and eventually he would stop and go tend to his dog. So I would say those are my favorite moments.
Favorite memories from this course are almost always some form of interaction between me and my fellow cohort. The one that comes to mind most strongly is early on in the course. Me and 2 of the best friends that I've made in this time were in a Zoom meeting after class. I think it might have been some kind of casual mixture of some kind, but During it, we began to play around with the Zoom background features. We had just first discovered it. At first trying to see who could just find the funniest background, but eventually evolving into screenshotting and placing each other in each other's backgrounds. It was still early enough that there wasn't a ton of pressure, and I don't know, something about just sitting in that call, laughing and chatting with my new friends really stuck with me, and just has to be one of, if not the fondest memory of the course.
Of the several memorable moments of this remote learning journey with CodeUp, one of the top ones was finally meeting the members of my capstone project. That was a really nice experience, finally meeting people that I've seen on Zoom for months, talking with them, getting to know them for a little bit as we did our recordings for the project.
The most memorable time in CodeUp is when I'm doing the capstone project with my team, Chris, Daniela, and Samuel. We are the AI learning team. I enjoy that everyone in the team is mission-oriented and excellence-driven. We work together day and nights and days towards the same goal. We argue, we laugh, we bring the best of each other to accomplish our capstone. Good luck to Chris, Danny, and Samuel. You guys are going to be great data scientists.
Favorite memory? There's been a lot. Probably what I enjoyed the most was the first few weeks of class. Myself and another student, we were going down to Geekdom, and we had our own office basically, and with a window view, and got to get through SQL together. And of course, with the pandemic, circumstances changed and we couldn't continue to go down there. But I wish we all could have done this in person. I'm a face-to-face kind of guy, but it's the whole program's been memorable.
So in terms of favorite memory, that's a tough one because there were so many good times throughout this past 6 months at CodeUp. If I had to pick one out of a hat, there was several times where we as students were broken up into little subgroups to work on homework or work on a project. And I remember one, and it was great because most of the time we were quiet, but a lot of times we'd be interacting, talking about, hey, what does this problem mean? How do we solve this? And I remember one time there was a conversation going on about how to solve a particular coding challenge, and I remember sitting back and thinking, man, this is what you dream of doing, right? It's so cool to have this interaction with these folks, with these really great folks. So just getting to know everyone and just getting to learn alongside everyone in the Darden cohort was awesome.